Welcome everyone. It is your boy Eric of EMFC.
Hello, solo. It's Matt from UFC.
This is Derek of the EMFC.
And welcome to Wrestle Chat Wednesday. Finally, all three lads together. Yeet. Yeet.
Indubitably.
Oh
You
my
see
god,
me
and that's
ooze?
Johnny in the chat. Just welcome, Johnny.
Oh my god. He loves solo.
He loves Solo. My new tribal chief, of course, because Roman's trash.
Facts. Say it again, Oos.
It's crazy.
Here we are again for another exciting week of wrestling. It's interesting because they went back from Saudi Arabia. They finished all that Saudi Arabian week. They threw that all away. Like, thanks for the money. And now they're
Yeah.
back to America, SmackDown, Buffalo. Should we get into the review real quick?
Let's do it.
Well, it's pretty much like an aftermath week. There you go. Alrighty, have to remove this. Friday Night SmackDown live from Buffalo. Did not know it was in Buffalo the whole time. I would have gone, but you know, here we are.
You were there, bro. I have the sign.
Well,
I sent it to you.
oh, door. We'll keep that. We'll keep it PG for now. But I know what son you're talking about. Yeah. What are your thoughts on SmackDown? It was kind of chaotic. It was very random, I think. But again, they're trying to set up for Survivor Series as quickly as possible because they decided to do pretty much 2 pay-per-views in like 1 month. So
Who want to start it off?
I'm not gonna lie to you. SmackDown and Raw seem exactly the same to me because it's Survivor Series.
It's fair.
that's actually pretty good summary of both.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty fair. Yeah.
Honestly,
It's literally like, oh, Jay and Jimmy talking. Oh, you want to see Bianca? Yeah, that's about it.
And I'm glad one of you guys mentioned that because I think that was the first thing I thought. I was like, all right, so this is kind of reminding me back of the super shows again of Raw and SmackDown. I get it, Survivor Series, they're trying to mix it up, whatever.
Yeah.
Eventually, I feel like they should like have a firm stop. But I assume Royal Rumble is also going to mix up everything now too. So it might be,
Yeah.
it'll probably be chaotic on the road to WrestleMania. Probably when WrestleMania is done, they'll go back to firm, strict Raw and SmackDown, stay in your own lane from what the storylines are going. But yeah, SmackDown started off as usual. Roman Reigns comes out with Jimmy Uso. Jey Uso comes out. Sammy comes out, and then they all have a little like argument amongst each other, saying family, no family. It's been the same theme for the last 2 weeks with everybody. They pretty much kicked out Sammy again because Roman says he doesn't want it. They go backstage, same thing. Roman dismisses Jay, then he dismisses Jimmy, and both of them want none of that, so they abandon him. And Roman's like, "Oh my god, my actions have consequences? Oh no! Oh no!
Where's Paul Heyman?
Oh my god!" I don't know exactly the order of it, but from what I remember, and from the pictures, of course, here in the example, they're promoting a little bit of the tag titles, both SmackDown champions and the women's champions. If we're starting off first, I believe not Naomi, it was Bianca and Jade versus Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton. The women's tag team champions prevail. I know Naomi has a little bit of interference amongst them because Naomi is now the #1 contender for next week's SmackDown for the women's championship. On the men's side, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller wanted
The
to
Rub
do
Master?
the firm rubbing last week, but they were denied, and instead they're having a tag team match. Motor City Machine Guns win. Pretty solid match overall. And then I don't remember what else was promoted on SmackDown besides like the major news. I don't know if you guys want to talk about that here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Well, there were a few things that happened on SmackDown.
Yeah.
So the first match was Bayley versus Candice LeRae.
Oh, that's what I forgot about it.
Yeah, so again, I mean, their match was what it was. But there were some implications there because Candice LeRae also got involved in the tag team match between Bianca Belair, Jay Cargill, and Tiffany Stratton, and Nia Jax because she seems to have some involvement with the Nia Jax Tiffany Stratton dynamic. Looks like she's trying to get herself in there since she doesn't have a partner anymore.
Unemployed. Yep.
What else? the Motor City Machine Guns, A-Town Down Under. DIY also had a match against Pretty Deadly, and Tommaso Ciampa just completely killed the both of them and then attacked Johnny in. And which I loved because Tommaso Ciampa is now kind of leading back into like that heel, like psycho killer Tommaso Ciampa that we remember from NXT.
Yeah, not the lame.
NXT.
So he's showing that he just wants to win. Like he's tired of kind of being like the nice guys. And since Johnny Gargano has history with the Motor City Machine Guns, he's like basically just like showing like, nah, like we need to amp it up. They had an interesting interaction because I think the Street Profits are the next #1 contenders for the Motor City Machine Guns, which pissed off Ciampa because he was just like, that should be our shot.
Because they didn't
On
get a
social
rematch for
media-
when they lost to the Bloodline.
Yes,
as
Yeah, but
well.
they also lost to the Motor City Machine Guns, so they can stop crying.
you know. But then
And
on
it's
top
also
of that,
not a rematch thing anymore. They
yeah,
took
so
that
that's
away.
that's the biggest thing, right? Like they kind of go back and forth lean on like the whole like rematch thing, but it's like not really a thing, but sometimes it is a thing, and whatever.
Which will bring it to Raw. Remind me of that.
But the other thing too was that if you like kind of looked at social media, the Street Profits also talked about how they felt like they've been overlooked and disrespected. And there's a fire truck leaving my house right now, so that's if you can hear the sirens, that's what that is.
It's not
Um,
holler if you hear me.
Yeah.
But they've expressed their frustration in regards to like how they've been booked because it's like they always seem to have like a little bit of a run and then it stops and then they get a little bit of a run and then
And
it
they're
stops.
trash.
And I think now they're at a
Mhm.
point now where like Montez Ford is just kind of like, yo, I'm tired of it. Like, you know, like we're trying to make some momentum and we're starting it now kind of thing. So where that leads, we'll see.
Solo run. Solo run. Leave the bumps. Sorry.
So we'll see where that goes, and then I guess we could talk about the major. Or actually, we didn't mention the Kevin Owens and Randy Orton
No.
segment.
No.
No.
So Randy Orton calls out Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens comes out and gives him a pile driver, which is
Illegal.
a banned move in WWE, which they mentioned on TV. That is a banned move in WWE, and so I would say that the execution of it was cool because they really did sell it like it was a big deal, even though it looked like the softest pile driver that I have ever seen. We will not talk about that.
It just was banned for so long. Now it just felt so important. I also now hear the fire truck outside.
Yes.
Randy literally was like, on the thing. So.
But
That was
I think the
fun.
funniest thing about the pile driver is that the move itself has been banned, but they've been doing Canadian destroyers for like the last like 2 years, which is essentially like the same thing. And I feel like the level, I feel like the level of difficulty to complete that move is harder and like more dangerous. However, for the sake of what it is, it did fulfill the purpose because again, like the crowd reacted, like no one really thought a pile driver was going to be a thing. I was kind of hoping that if Kevin Owens was going to do a pile driver, it would have been the package pile driver, which is his actual finisher from the Indies. But it kind of looked like that, but it wasn't. But either way, sorry. Also, it's Wednesday, so like the leaf blowers are outside doing the maintenance.
Jesus.
It's Wednesday, my dudes.
But yes, so had all those things. But leading into the major piece of news, which has been a rumor for months and months and months, it has been talked about. Years, actually. Yeah, you're right. It has been talked about for a long time. It's been talked about how this was needed, how this was very necessary, and it has been confirmed. Women's mid-card championship is coming to SmackDown. The Women's United States Championship had been unveiled by Nick Aldis in an announcement in which they are going to crown an inaugural Women's United States Champion, which is huge for the women's division. I would like to get both of y'all's feedback in regards to that news.
It's time to step up, as Nick Aldis said.
It's
Triple
fantastic.
H loves the women's division. There's too many of them in the tag team division. We were talking about this earlier this week, so it's coming at an opportune time. And Chelsea Green's gonna win, and I picked her up officially. So
Oh, you think?
you're done it.
That's pretty cool.
She has to, bro. Who else? Who else is gonna win it?
So
It's on SmackDown, right?
I would love if Charlotte Flair came back and just won
I
the
know.
title for the shit to giggles for. I would love it.
Christ. Because now
I would love it.
Yeah.
there's a couple things. So one, I do think it's an amazing thing. I feel like it's long overdue. People have been begging for it. The response online was fantastic. Everyone wanted this. They give their picks. A lot of people said Chelsea Green. Others I've seen was Michin or Zelina
Oh, that's
Vega.
going.
it was a bit surprising to me that it was the United States and not the Intercontinental. Maybe Raw will get their own. Maybe they'll move the Smack titles to Raw and then keep the United States
That's what
to
I'm
SmackDown.
thinking. I'm
You know?
thinking that Raw's gonna get an Intercontinental Championship belt. Like, it seems weird that like they went the United States title belt and not the Intercontinental Championship belt. Like, I
Mhm.
feel like we're gonna get for both brands. Will that be a little bit too much? Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was worried about. If maybe is there too many titles eventually? Like maybe they'll have the tag titles on one side, United States on the other, or drop the tag titles, bring the Intercontinental, maybe carry the United States over for both brands. But then again, that ruins the whole brand split.
I think they need it because they don't really like. Well, they've been doing it with the heavyweight championship, but the main titles, even the women's titles, have barely been defended. Not on a pay per view. They're starting to do it more now, but I welcome it. Give everyone a belt. Fuck it.
What's interesting is that even like under Triple H, they really promote the women a lot. So it just makes it a whole lot better that that they have that title in there, because like now there's been a lot of feuds. Let's say Piper Niven, Chelsea Green, Meechin. They had those little rivalries in between. Bayley's having those little rivalries in between. It's cool. It's amazing. It's what wrestling's about. But sometimes those rivalries are missing something big. Why are they chasing each other? What's the point of it? Sometimes it's to build a ranking. Sometimes it's just beef. Sometimes we feel like these matches are put together. That's why I said I forgot about Bayley and Candice LeRae. Right?
You saying that they need something big, huh?
So if there's a title like the United States Championship, it makes sense to have something they can compete for in the middle instead of everyone, all 30 women in one side of the roster trying to compete for one title. Now they can compete for two, you know? So
fair.
Yeah.
I think
plus and minuses.
like going back to the whole idea of like how like the women's division has been presented. The amount of people who I speak to who know how much of a wrestling fan I am, and the first thing that they mention is Rhea Ripley. Talks about how big of a impact the women's division has had on, I think, just like casual culture in general. There's a girl that I met when I was working on the cruise last year. She lives in London. She doesn't watch wrestling. She dressed up as Rhea Ripley for Halloween, and I saw it. I was just like, "This is fucking awesome!" And she's kind of like, "Yo, she's fucking dope." Like everyone knows who she is, and like to be able to like have that amount of reach to people who don't even watch wrestling but know like, "Yo, like these women are actually killing it." And like when I've had discussions with people, they're always kind of like, "Yeah, like they're not just like shaking their ass anymore. Like they actually are good." And it's just like, I know, it's great. It's now, I mean, yeah, if you go on NXT, they do both, you know. But, and then there's Liv Morgan, who Liv Morgan does her little little thing when she holds the title up, which I very much enjoy. Except she didn't do it in Saudi Arabia, and I thought that was hilarious.
Makes sense.
But yeah, I understand your point, because like even friends from work who don't watch wrestling, even just mainstream, if you look online, or even let's say something like Call of Duty, they added all these people's skins into the games. Because they're famous.
And it was Rhea Bloody Ripley.
You hear Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Rhea Ripley. Their music even plays during sporting events in the background. People sing along. They do everything, right? Like, again, Triple H and I guess just the merger with WWE, UFC, TKO, they elevated the game and made it more pop cultural. That's why they're getting all that money. That's why they're getting all that views. It makes sense. And
you can notice it too. They're going to Complex Con, which is like kind of like a culture event, I guess. I don't know, streetwear, shoes, bands, different stuff that's in the hip scene. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I did come to Anime North next year.
Imagine.
So if anyone would, it'd be the New Day.
Oh no, it'd be Rey Mysterio, of course.
Homo Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, so they're doing that. They're they're using more like up-to-date music that more people would like, aka rap music, in their promos. Because I forget what they used. Oh yeah, for the we're gonna get to it, but Survivor Series in Canada, whatever music they're playing is hip hop again. So Triple H knows Mans Up North love that music, not that fucking jelly roll, none of that shit, But we also have time for that as well. So at least Triple H knows where the spark in the fire
Sparking
is.
zero.
He's got his finger on the pulse, as the old people say.
So that's why
Popularity.
the title is created. It's just needed, and then
It's
these
needed.
women are popping off, both culturally and in wrestling. So yeah, I think it was amazing.
Yeah.
Makes sense. It's the next
Oh
step.
yeah, and then the Bloodline got reunited at the end of the show. Okay, cool. That's SmackDown.
Yeah,
Let's go to
it
Raw.
wasn't really that special. They teased Sammy heel turn, but then Sammy teamed up, and now they're there. So now let's go to Raw.
Lame.
Where Raw was practically the exact same thing.
No. There's definitely a big difference, if you know what I mean.
No, not that.
Big
Bellin,
Bronson
bro.
Reed came out, bro, and just had it on sighting with Seth Rollins. I'm here to say Seth Rollins is in my good books again. He's finally not annoying. Thank God.
He went off with like a series of promos. So if we're continuing from SmackDown, and what you're saying with Seth Rollins, again, Big Bronson Reed, Seth Rollins had a little scrap. The show also had Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, and Sami Zayn all trying to talk and see if they can find someone from the Raw brand, because they said SmackDown, nobody likes them. So Seth Rollins was one of the major ones. Sami Zayn had a conversation. So when Seth, after he had his little scrap with Bronson Reed, went backstage with Adam Pearce. And
he's had it up to here with them, so he's getting a match.
So yeah, they have one more match.
Kind of match it's gonna be.
I think it's just a regular one from what I saw, because they said tail of the tape.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it's just regular match.
Bro, it was great. It was like Seth Rollins, however many Money in the Banks, this many championships, and then Bronson Reed's like, next size, 36 inches. Wait. I'm like, bro, those aren't accomplishments. It's just his body.
How you get your nicks so big, boy?
But yeah, that's what led to the Sami Zayn conversation, where Seth Rollins said, hell no, he would not join them. And then Sami Zayn is being used once again, teasing again, another heel turn. Then Solo drives up on him with Jacob Fatuiza all the time.
The boys are in the car.
I know, and then the Tongans in the back are like... And Seth is confirmed that the next time he sees Roman in the ring, he'll stomp his neck out, which is fantastic. Seth is turning a lot more evil. And he said that
I like the part.
He wouldn't team up with Solo either, because he's some fake Roman Reigns. And it was great. It was fantastic. It was a great time.
It was good.
Seth just wants to kill everyone. He's in a killing mood. I like that.
Yeah. Io Sky was also on Showcase I feel like this episode.
Lovely.
There somehow the Damage Control turned faces, and I didn't even realize. Dakota Kai also returned. That wasn't in the sheets. And Kathy Kelly got way too excited, but that's good. They're best friends, I guess.
Yeah, in real life.
Yeah. So they took out KFC in a match. It was decent. They're building Io Sky to go against
Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan. Yes, thank you. I was gonna say Bianca, but she doesn't have a world title right now. So yeah, they're just building her up right now. Again to reach that status.
As you mentioned, I think we talked about this before, Matt, last week, where the whole Damage Control face and heel thing, they were pretty much heels, but they're like on the edge a little bit, because they said they want to like get their subs going. I think now they fully forced more of a face, because everyone hates Liv Morgan in Judgment Day, right? Because Rhea Ripley broke her face again. So this is just like a whole pivot. So they need to find someone who people can be behind and are established. So Io Sky is one of those little transitional opponents.
Really good one.
Good for me, because I get points for my fantasy team. But yeah,
should have been Becky Lynch.
It
should have been me.
It was good to showcase them, and then again, Bianca and Jade are still involved with Judgment Day as well, where they're also involved with Nia Jax, Naomi, Tiffany Stratton. So then all that combined again on Monday Night Raw, they all fought each other. But Bianca and Jade defended their tag titles against Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez. So just so many rivalries at the same time for both women's championships, the tag team titles. So women got really showcased both on Raw and SmackDown. And as you said earlier, they're the same show. Everyone was just...
And then other Judgment Day news, Finn Balor finally spoke. He's pissed, all right? He's pissed. So he's pieced that Dom, and it looks like the family's starting to fall apart again because of Liv Morgan, as we thought. And Finn said, "Yo, go do something instead of being a bum." And then Dom was like, "Yo, at least I got close to the championship belt, unlike you." And I was like, "Oh."
He also said that he actually could beat Damian Priest, and it was like,
Yeah.
bro.
And then JD's in the back. He's like, "You what, mate? What did you say about my brother, mate?"
He couldn't even set up the game properly. He had himself only versus the Viking Raiders or the Viking Experience, whatever. The War Raiders now, they had him in the back. And then like I think he tried to press start and then it just gave error. It's like you need to select somebody or something like that.
Yeah.
And then that's when he's like
So yeah, Dom and Carlito are facing the War Raiders.
The War Raiders, yes.
War Raiders,
The
the Viking
War Raiders.
Experience.
No, the War Raiders. There are no Vikings, just war.
Just
Thank
war.
God. They're still shit.
Just raid.
War!
Other news: Kofi Kingston lost. Xavier Woods is mad. Kofi went against Xavier's word and set up a match against Pete Dunne. Don't get it mixed up. It's not Butch. Like R-Truth is barely hanging on to 2 lines in the Raw segment, so that's where he was. But yeah, hopefully the New Day thing starts to elevate a little bit more. I don't know how long they're gonna stretch this out for, but
Well, the New Day anniversary show is at the end of the month, so we'll probably get like some sort of finality to what this is on that show.
cool.
I'm leaning
Cool
towards a
beans.
breakup.
I'm still not. Everyone is going towards the breakup angle. I know that's what everybody wants to see because, you know, like wrestling fans and
Savages.
everything. I think this is the return of Big E, personally.
I hope so. I mean, it makes sense.
I get it.
Anniversary.
It makes sense. It makes sense. It's a New Day anniversary show, so it makes sense that Big E would be there. I think Big D is going. Big E is going to be
Big
the
D.
one that it's going to be the one that kind of sort of
Bends it.
like men's defenses kind of thing. And again, if they decide that they're going to do the breakup angle, that's cool. I don't think it'll help either Xavier or Kofi in their careers at this point. I would love to see it Xavier Woods like singles run, but I just don't think that with the depth of the roster where it is right now, that he would go very far with it.
I think that they should just have a blow-off match where they realize that they're actually sick, you know, as a tag team kind of thing, where they tease the breakup, but they don't actually. They like after their like grueling match, I don't know, make it like a 2 out of 3 falls match. Like, yeah, all right, you're my brother in arms, and then Big E comes out.
Like, I wouldn't mind if they had a match together. I would love to
Pretty
see
cool.
Kofi versus Xavier.
Like just to test the skills. be like,
Yeah.
I'm better than you.
Yeah.
I'm better than you, and then they go at it and they're like, you know what? We actually could use this in our tag team matches, and then they win a belt or something on the anniversary. Why not?
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the payoff is. Like, I think the anniversary show is, let's see, Survivor Series is on the 30th, so it would probably be the
On my
25th
birthday.
episode.
Yeah. New Day's reunions on my birthday. Let's go, bro.
So yeah,
Last year I got CM Punk. This is such a better treat.
You're still gonna get CM Punk.
CM Punk shows up for no reason.
That'd be great.
Happy birthday, man!
So Big E, since you're my announce team partner,
There it is. That's the 5th member for Roman Reigns. CM Punk. Done, bro. Just to absolutely break your freaking heart. It could happen. He debuted last
and
year.
then Drew shows up on Solo's team.
Speaking of the 5th member, did you guys see the spoilers next week, or was it just me?
No, I didn't see it
Just
yet.
you.
Okay.
But I'm assuming it's Zilla, bro, because that's the only other person I could think of.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So
Thanks,
it's Monday
thanks,
Night
Robert.
Raw. That's the one that's pre-taped, right? Not SmackDown, or both?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so no, SmackDown's gonna be pre-taped next week. So Monday Night Raw is already pre-taped, so the results from next week is already there. But not this coming SmackDown, but a SmackDown afterwards. They're gonna be doing double taping.
So
there'll
SmackDown.
be
live
spoilers
this
for
Friday.
yeah. SmackDown is live this Friday, live next Friday, but they're gonna be doing next Fridays and the Friday afters next Friday.
Okay.
So you'll be getting spoilers next Friday. So stay off the internet.
Flying into Vancouver. Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense.
No, it's for Thanksgiving. The reason why they're doing double taping is so people can go home.
Because Americans
Yeah.
still have a Thanksgiving to celebrate. Insane.
They
Black
do,
Friday.
and Triple H isn't a dickhead. He's actually letting people go home to their families.
And it's because they're gonna box on Boxing Day the next day after. Makes sense. It makes sense. Or sorry, not Boxing. Black Friday. Whatever they do.
Yeah.
They still box each other up though.
We're boxing this Friday, bro. Jake Paul versus
Oh, I know.
Mike the
Tyson.
Iron
Bro,
Fist.
you got Jake Paul versus thing on Friday. You have John Jones versus Stipe on Saturday, bro.
I'm gonna be stuck to the couch.
Oh, buddy.
Can't wait.
Oh, you also have Colombia versus Uruguay on Friday. It's a fantastic time. It's a great time this
Knockouts
week.
everywhere.
Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much Monday Night Raw. The only other thing was that Damian Priest cooked Gunther on the microphone. Gunther actually looks scared because he lost to Cody Rhodes already. He says, who is he not to lose to someone else? He's not invincible anymore. He had a little bickerments with Ludwig Kaiser, confronting him. Ludwig Kaiser standing on his own. He was solid on the mic.
Sheamus has the Intercontinental Championship title opportunity, which again, is that the only belt he hasn't won, right?
Yes.
I think he might do it, fam. I don't know.
Oh my god!
Not next week,
just
but
pass
he might.
it around. Braun Breaker's gonna be firm transition.
I mean, John Cena's got to win it too, right? So
he has to.
John Cena hasn't been the Intercontinental Champion yet either.
That's why we thought
we
Braun
gotta talk
Breaker
about
versus
that.
him at WrestleMania. I think we said it last week. I don't think Derek was there.
I was not there. Other speaking of Braun Breaker, other relevant part of Raw was that they were trying to recruit people. Sami Zayn tried to recruit Seth Rollins, as you mentioned before, but Jimmy tried to recruit Braun Breaker. I don't know if you guys saw that part.
No, but I'm gonna add that to points. Was he in the background?
No.
He was. No, he had a promo. Braun Breaker had a promo. He was doing a promo. Then Jimmy came in and was just kind of like, "Yo, can we talk for a second?" And then he was just kind of like, "Yeah, we can talk."
Sick. I'll add the promo. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So that was the thing.
What else
and
happened?
Then in the background, Jay was trying to recruit like Rey Mysterio.
Yeah,
that was like in the background.
I saw that. Yeah.
And then Rey Mysterio was just like, "Nah, hootie hoo," and then he walked away.
Hootie hoo.
So yeah, I'm just add 3 points to that. Thanks. He was in the shot. It counts.
No, it counts. Yeah. I don't know if you noticed that,
actually, I didn't see it, so I'm not gonna add it.
You can put it in there.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Low?
I think it was a solid Raw, just overall
Both
altogether.
the shows were solid. It's just getting confusing a little bit.
I actually did miss one more thing, and that was the Miz finally returned from his little
yes.
kidnapping, and then I forgot what their group is called, but freaking Karrion Kross and his final
Pure Fusion Collective.
Test the
Final
losers.
Testament.
They went outside to try to confront the Howdy Boys, and the Howdy Boys came in and just effed everyone up. It was great. It was a great time.
That's definitely not what happened.
No? Was that the other week?
No, bro. That's definitely not what happened. They came in.
Was this next week?
No, this was this week. The Miz came in and showed that he lied, and he hit Thing in the back with a chair. Eric Rowe with a chair. And they beat up fucking the Howdy Boys.
Oh boy, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they got messed up, bro.
Maybe I was thinking about the week still.
You might have been thinking of last week still.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened with the Howdy Boys. Final Testament messed their shit up, bro.
Okay. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for our little review.
Yes, sir.
Put us back up. Sheets or salt?
Salt. Because I'm adding my points as we speak.
Okay.
Hold on,
right,
let me
Derek.
just look at my...
This is where you salt up or
Ooh, I got paid this Friday.
Salt up.
Okay. Anyways, okay, yeah, I got a bit of salt to extract. Let's talk about the New Day. I've already talked about how I believe that the anniversary show, we're going to see a finality in regards to like what this whole thing is. It's been leaning towards the idea that they're going to turn on each other. Everybody on the internet is convinced that they're going to turn on each other. I still believe that like it's not going to turn that way, and like there's going to be like some like resolution that comes on the show. Although I feel like they're going to heavily tease it on the show. I think maybe Big E comes back and it becomes a voice of reason. And I think that's what ends up with that. I think my biggest grain of salt is in regards to the War Games match, and the War Games match has taken a lot of turns that I wasn't really anticipating. So at first, when they first booked this whole thing, I thought it was going to be a 4-on-4.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it would have made sense if it was a 4-on-4. But then on SmackDown, Solo told them, like, you go find a fifth guy, we'll find a fifth guy, we'll do a 5-on-5. And I personally, I don't think the 5-on-5 is necessary. I think they're doing too much with this whole 5-on-5 situation. I think they should just keep it family shit only and not try to recruit someone else out. Especially since you already got like Sami Zayn, and he was like the honorary Uso, which I feel like was like the furthest they should have went, just so they can even up numbers for the Bloodline. But now the Bloodline needs to find a fifth guy who, like, unless it's going to be somebody from the family, which it probably won't be, just because, like, I feel like we know that Tama Tonga's brother has been signed by WWE. Lance Anoa'i has been signed by WWE, but for their first matches to be a War Games match on a pay-per-view of this magnitude, like, we've seen Triple H has been staggering out returns or debuts and stuff like that, and he's been doing it in a way where, like, they introduce them to a crowd to kind of, like, get them warmed up, get them kind of, like, in a position, and then, like, once they're ready for that spot, they're ready for that spot, right? Like, Jacob Fatu debuted on a SmackDown, has been working his way up for, like, the last few months, and now, like, he's a fucking star, right? Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, same situation kind of thing, right? So it doesn't really make sense that any of those guys would be brought in specifically for this match, because I don't think it'll do anything good for them. Plus, it's a pretty major match to kind of throw them in for their first night out kind of thing, right? But I think the dynamic in regards to how this match is going to go is going to be interesting. Just because, like, for me personally, I'm gonna call it from now. I think Solo's team is winning.
Okay.
I think someone is
already.
I think someone is gonna screw over Roman, and I don't know who it is yet.
Jey Uso.
Because I think a part of me feels like it's gonna be Sammy. A part of me feels like it could be Jay, because there's been teasing of the fact that, like, obviously they're not 100%. I won't talk spoilers, but it's going to be revealed next week who the final guys are for both teams.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So we will revisit. I already know them. Like, they don't like specifically say this is what it is, but they basically heavily tease like this is what it is.
Okay.
And we'll go back to that, because then I will talk about that next week in my Great Soul in regards to how I feel about it.
Okay.
Okay.
But I feel like there are a few options of how this could go.
Okay.
So you either have Sammy screwing over Roman, Solo's Bloodline wins. You have a potential where maybe now that Sami Zayn's involved, Sami Zayn's best friend now feels like he needs to get involved, but I don't think that's where that's going to go.
I don't think so either.
Because I feel like if it would make sense for Cody and Kevin to stay in their own lane and finish off their story.
Finish the story.
And Randy.
I was gonna mention that too. I was gonna be like, that could be an option. Kevin Owens on one side, Cody on the other.
It could be. It very much could be.
As you're saying, it doesn't make much sense because they already started their program with Randy Orton. That's already huge on itself. Too many stories in one. You know what I mean?
There's too many stories in one. Randy has been written off of TV for the foreseeable future after taking that pile driver shot. So it really is just Cody and Kevin. So we could have a situation where both of those guys are involved. But I feel like personally, you now have the perfect situation to have a match between the two of them, where Kevin doesn't feel like he's held back like he was in the last match. And they could actually just like settle it, decide like who's the better guy, and then they could just kind of move on from there, kind of thing, right? My other thought process was the idea that Paul Heyman returns at SummerSlam or at Survivor Series and fucks over Roman Reigns.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, that's another big option too.
Which is somewhat what I'm leaning towards. And then my third option, I'm not going to talk about right now because it is surrounding who the final members are more than likely going to be next week. And I think that once you find out what it is, then we'll talk about it and you'll kind of see where I'm leaning towards. But I'm thinking that's what is going to be what it is. But I will say that I feel like if it does go this option, it's going to have huge implications for WrestleMania. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I'll leave it at that. It's gonna have huge WrestleMania implications.
I'm not gonna
me.
say anything on it because I don't want to see a reaction. But I shut up, Eric, bro.
I guess?
He didn't say anything. I just seen what he was doing. But
yeah, I will say, I will say it has huge WrestleMania implications, and also like the idea that I feel like the other thing that bothers me too is that like The Rock should be involved in this.
Yeah.
And I feel like
You smell it?
he's not getting in the match though. The only way this
He's
would make
not.
sense is if him and Paulie came back as managers for both teams. But
speaking of which, I saw someone did like an AI they asked AI like what was gonna happen in Survivor Series, and AI wrote out the match so nicely that like I wanted to be brought out this way. But
jeez.
the way that the AI kind of like wrote the match was under the assumption that it was going to be a 4-on-4.
Okay.
But the idea was that like I think Roman's team wins. Paul Heyman comes out looking like he's actually going to like support the bloodline, but then The Rock comes out afterwards with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman hands him a contract. The Rock signs it, and then it leaves. And everyone's just kind of like, "What the fuck did he just sign?" And then that's it, kind of thing.
That's really good.
And I was just like, "Yo, this is actually really sick."
That's really good.
Well, I heard other predictions too about The Rock and stuff, because again, his WrestleMania involvement's up in the air, but
It's very much up in the air.
it seems like it could be a Cody fight for him this year. And then
Well-
Roman and Solo or something. I don't know. On the other side, maybe Roman and Jacob Fatu.
I don't know. I really like, for me, like the only match that makes sense is Rock versus Roman. But I feel like, again, after seeing spoilers, like the idea of there being a triple threat now seems to be more likely a thing.
Oh, I heard. Sorry. Go on.
And I don't like it.
The thing I heard, sorry, was so whatever, Rock comes back and he's like, "All right, Cody, I want you. I beat you. Whatever." I whispered in your ear, "We're gonna have our match." Roman, he either wins the Royal Rumble or the Elimination Chamber, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna, do you think he's gonna go after Gunther?" He's like, "Nah, fuck you, Rock. I'm taking that match away from you." Like he took the opposite of last year, and then that sets up Rock and Roman for later. But yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Like we're getting close. We're getting
It's
close.
time.
They started promoting Royal Rumble.
WrestleMania season.
So WrestleMania season is quickly approaching.
Mm-hmm.
So we will see.
And I'm excited. I'm excited that we don't know. It's kind of like last year where it was up in the air. It's gonna be the same thing, and it's just gonna make the payout even better. In all honesty.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say like my final grain of salt is in regards to the second War Games match, which hasn't been announced yet, but they have been throwing some teasers in there. After seeing the end of Monday Night Raw, we have 4 women who are thrown together. We have Nia Jax and her people thrown together. Again, seeing spoilers, they basically confirm that the 5th person is going to be revealed for one of the teams next week.
Oh my god. And Matt fucking losing shit.
Who's that?
I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm gonna tell you that I was not expecting it.
Yeah, there it is, dude.
Oh, Becky Lynch. Oh.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything.
I'm picking her up again.
Oi, the man's back. The man's back.
But yeah, so
it's gonna be Asuka too, no?
Oh my god. That's
not about her.
There are options.
Damage controller up.
Up, not down.
But yeah, the women's War Games match, once it does get announced,
I got it, dude.
That it's going to be pretty interesting as well.
That's gonna be great, bro. Can't wait. I'm excited. Yeah, because I was gonna say, would the women's be 5-on-5 too? But yeah,
it is gonna be 5-on-5. I'll let you know that.
Canning like everyone who ended up on Raw and SmackDown last time, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I also
War
think that they
games.
didn't need to do 2 matches, but
No, they do. They
it's
must.
okay.
Women, men.
No,
Put them in a
Triple
cage.
H didn't need to do this.
Throw them in the
but
cage.
It's okay.
War games.
Because it hasn't been built up. Everyone's like, where the hell is the women's match? So what, you built it up in 2 weeks?
So like, and I think there was a rumor that people thought that like the NXT was gonna get involved and they were gonna have their own War Games match, and they have the women to do it.
Yeah.
But like, I feel
Oh, they
like
do already.
yeah, wait, like, because even like Io Sky coming out to help them just kind of seemed kind of out of left field for me personally.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really see that coming.
But they were just trying to hype her up more.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. That's what it
Yeah,
felt
dude.
like. It's kind of like, yo, like, oh, here's Io Sky, like, yay!
Woo!
But yeah.
Do you think?
Um,
Oh no, that's a little too early for that. But I mean, we're
Oh,
at the
don't
Great
worry.
Assault.
We have that. We have that in the sheets. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
all right. Well, speaking of the sheets, let's move on to
Yeah,
it.
let's move on to the sheets. Let me play it.
Let's get lost in the sheets.
It's time to nut up and shut up. Sorry, I'm trying to listen to this Rhea Ripley news.
It's the most like unenthusiastic like nut up and shut up I've ever seen, bro. Like,
I was very confused.
focused.
Okay. Anyways, let's get straight into it. First rumor: Cody is not losing the title ever for the foreseeable future.
It's fantastic.
R.I.P. DOS.
Great.
Boring. But yeah, I was
Superseded.
listening to Chris Van Vliet's podcast with that annoying guy from WWE. It was actually pretty good. He wasn't annoying.
Rosenberg or no,
the other guy.
fucking shit. What's his name? I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So they had a podcast and they were talking about a bunch of different random topics. It was great. You should go listen to it if you guys haven't. I think it's called
I
Insight.
saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw. a few
So
topics
they're
to
just
talk
talking about how Cody Rhodes is like the perfect baby face and that he doesn't need to turn heel, which I agree. I just don't like it personally because I
They're
like the
making a lot of
heels.
money. I think is what
Yeah,
they
they're
said.
making a lot of money, and like the annoying guy was saying, this is a different time period where this can work. Whereas the Attitude Era, people were rebelling; they wanted a rebellious face or a tweener. Whereas nowadays, you kind of want to see somebody that's hardworking, like Cody, family man, blah blah blah, America, and you'll still celebrate that. There's some people that hate on him, like us sometimes,
Like
but
you.
he's still doing good for the company. You lick your chops at his heel run. It's gonna be amazing. But again, like
guess
Roman, you don't
he's such a
need to
good-
force it.
He's such a good heel. Like, he's such a good heel.
Mhm.
But to be fair, like, and all credit to Cody, like, I think the reason why people mess with him so hard is because he has worked for this. Like, he was legitimately, when he talks about from being undesirable to undeniable, like, that's real. Like, he was
Undisputed.
someone who like, based off of his family name, should have had everything, and like nothing was working for him. And when things could have worked for him, WWE didn't want to play ball, and so he made something out of himself, and he made himself into one of the biggest like stars in the company today. So like people who really mess with him know his journey, know Stardust, they know the Masked Cody, they know all that stuff, they know how much work he's put in. That's why people like pop for Jey Uso, because they see that same work, and the fact that he can come out now and he could just he is one of the biggest acts now with everything he's put in. Like, I think people call to really appreciate that. However, I miss Roman as champion, so it is what it is. Like, it just feels weird. It's like I feel like Roman is kind of like in the Cena situation where it just feels weird when he doesn't have the title. Except like when Cena was a champion, there weren't a lot of guys who really felt like they could have really held that besides CM Punk at the time. Whereas like there are so many guys now where it'd be like, yo, like this guy being world champion would be sick. Like, there's so many guys who can really break through that ceiling, and we can see them breaking through that ceiling. People saw Braun Breaker or Jacob Fatu have a stare down, and like people like flipped because they knew, like, yo, 5 years from now, these guys are gonna be the top dogs, bro. Like, so like it's really cool because like when you compare WWE back in like 2010, 2011, there really weren't a lot of guys who you really saw. Like, there were guys that you were kind of hoping, like, yeah, like maybe they can break through. Like, you had your Dolph Ziggler's. I think it was just really Dolph Ziggler, to be honest. Outside of like the main event picture, Alberto Del Rio, like, nah, like people weren't really like, people, yeah, Alberto Del Rio, like, whatever. Jack Swagger definitely wasn't the guy. Like we,
Your John Morrisons.
nope.
Your
You
Kofi
know, so
Kingston's.
like,
What?
The Mrs.
still definitely wasn't Kofi at the time. Miz definitely, well, like, but like, there's so many guys now that it's like, you say Jey Uso, it's like, yeah, I could see that. Even at this point, Jacob Fatu, like, yeah, I could definitely see that at some point. Braun Breaker, I could see it. Gunther
Braun Breaker.
killing it right now. Braun Breaker. Kevin Owens at this point, I can see it. Sami Zayn, I can see it.
Randy.
Randy definitely has always been there. And then on top of that, John Cena's coming back in January.
Let's go.
Can't wait. That's what we
Right?
got to talk about after this.
Right?
month and a half.
CM Punk is coming back soon, right?
No.
The Rock is coming back soon, even though, like,
Yeah.
you know,
not
like,
going
there's so
anywhere.
many guys who, have been there who, like, if they have it, like, people are going to be like, does this guy really need this? But then, like, when you hear his music hit and he has the belt, you're going to be like, damn, that shit's kind of dope still, kind of thing, right? So it's like,
That's fire.
like, there's a lot of guys who are just kind of, like, chopping at the bit right now. So it's really cool to see.
And there's no negatives to it. Again,
Yeah.
like we saying, Cody Rhodes holding the belt is whatever because I like seeing a little bit of change. But we got that on the other side on Raw. But again, good for Cody. He earned it,
Mhm.
and he's doing well with it. So here's to another 10
Honestly,
years of Cody Rhodes with the belt.
I'm honestly expecting something very different because it's Triple H under control. I don't think they're gonna hold on to the babyface for too long because you said he's gonna hold on to the title for a long time. I don't think he's gonna drop the title. I think he will turn heel with the title on. I think one day he's just gonna be like, everyone's gonna be like, oh yeah, he's such a great babyface. Let's say he's facing Roman Reigns. Everyone's back and forth in the crown, like, we want Roman, we want Cody, and they're fighting each other. Cody beats Roman again clean. Roman gets up, he accepts it. He shakes Cody Rhodes' hand. He's like, yeah, you're a great wrestler. Cody low blows him. Boom, heel turn.
Jeez.
Then Cody becomes the full-on heel. It will be good if they book it correct. Almost kind of like the Hollywood Rock, where like, you guys want to turn on me? I'll turn on you first. And then
Yeah.
and it should be like a shocker, just something shocking. I think it would be the perfect time to turn him heel, not something predictable where he loses the title, he can't get anything right, you know?
Fair. Yeah, on to the next one. WWE plans to abandon legalize match betting. RIP to me and Derek. And I
yeah.
guess Eric as well.
Yeah.
So that's never happening. Don't get your hopes up. It's all scripted, so don't worry about that.
Mm.
We talked about the women's title. What do you guys think of the belt? I kind of think it looks ugly, but it's whatever.
The design
keeping
itself?
the same theme. Yeah.
I thought it should have been its own thing. The Intercontinental has a good history. Honestly, though, a lot of the women were saying that we should have it wasn't Fox. I think it was like Netflix Championship. Because
yeah. That's what I'm thinking in my head. I'm
like-
like, I don't like the U.S.
Mhm.
I mean, it's fine. It makes sense in the categories, but like, it should be something different. Like I don't know, something to do with the women, the Evolution belt or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
Is that what their pay per view was called?
Yeah, it was.
Evolution is a mystery.
I guess, yeah,
Something
AEW
like
had like the TBS title or whatever. I don't know if like branding it with a TV industry would be that important because look, TNT and they left TNT, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But it should have been its own thing. I'm figuring
I don't
out.
know what to call it, but they need something, and it needs to be a different color.
And-
make it green or purple or like pink. I don't care.
Mhm,
Yellow.
exactly.
Something.
That's where I was gonna get it to as well. I was like, if they chose the United States title, fine. Make it a completely different design though. Like, the women's
Yeah.
tag belts are not the same as the men's
The
tag
men's,
belts.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
they did the same thing with the world titles, which okay, whatever, I guess. But
That's fine, but I want the other belts to look
should be
different,
different.
at least to mean something, you know,
Mhm.
because boring, you know,
Mhm.
like think of something.
but good for them. And the other thing that I don't like is that switching the strap from black to white just means men's and women's, though the
Yeah.
Intercontinental title was white before. So, it just I don't know.
It's a new era. Anyways, before we leave this topic,
Mhm.
Eric, who do you think is going to win the inaugural U.S. Women's Championship?
Say Eric or Derek?
Eric,
Me?
because Derek's looking down. so I
Switch to
wanted to give
Derek.
him a second.
Switch to Derek first.
Derek, sorry, you have to go first.
What was the question?
Who do you think is the inaugural U.S. Women's Champion?
Braun Breaker.
Or give me who you assume is gonna win, and then who you'd want to win.
So who I assume is going to win? I feel like it's gonna be. I want to say Chelsea Green.
Who you want to win?
who I feel is going to win.
Okay.
Who I want to win? Probably Naomi.
Ooh, that's a good pick.
Ooh.
I didn't even think
I
about that.
feel like Naomi hasn't really been given her due since she's been back. And we know how good she can be when she's given that opportunity to really work and have that time.
Ooh, that'd be good. What a good shout, bro.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I think Naomi would be a perfect representative for that title. Just to kind of one, have those great matches. Two, to be able to elevate like the women around her, to elevate girls like Tiffany Stratton, like Chelsea Green, the girls who may like just kind of need that push and like that rub from like someone who's in the industry to kind of like elevate them to greater heights. But yeah, I would say Naomi for sure. It would
Okay.
be who I would want.
That's actually a really solid choice. I saw that online too, but I completely forgot about that because others were saying that she should be in the world title page, not the mid card page. She is competing for the world title, but like that is a good call.
Yeah, see, and like the thing is that like for me, like the mid card and the main card don't really mean much to me anymore. Like I feel like even especially since Gunther was Intercontinental Champion, like the belts just mean like if you have a championship belt, like you've definitely earned something
Mm-hmm.
at this point. So for me, like looking at it from like like mid card versus like main card, like I think like at the end of the day, like if you win that title, like you've shown out for sure, and especially being the first, like that's huge. Like that's something that's never gonna be taken away from you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, who the fuck is this?
I guess I'll move
Oh,
on
the guy
to who I believe.
Sorry, I'm looking at the SmackDown roster, and I found the person that was in that group with BFAB
Okay.
that I haven't seen in. Anyways, go on.
I have a couple that I believe. I already told you
Ashante
guys
Adonis.
that Zelina Vega,
Oh,
I believe
yeah.
Zelina Vega's Raw. So I'm thinking,
Yeah.
it's gonna be Chelsea Green because she deserves her flowers, or Michin, because they also have their little rivalry. They need someone strong, but if they're going the route with they have someone with experience, it would be like Derek said, a Naomi, or for me personally, I think it would be Bailey. It makes sense to have that because then here's this other argument I was going to bring up to you. What is considered now a Grand Slam champion? First is if you had the NXT and the main women's championship. Then it's if you had both Raw and SmackDown women's championship. Then it's now you have the tag team championships. Now you have the mid card championships. So these women are also like, let's say maybe Charlotte Flair are gonna fight for their right to say I am once again the women's Grand Slam champion because I won all those titles, right? That being said, Bailey would be a good choice for someone established. And you guys are going to hate me for this other suggestion, which I think is going to happen. Good old Canadian girl.
She's on Raw.
Natalia.
She's on Raw. I'm looking
Is
right
she?
now.
Oh, she's on Raw?
I was
Okay.
going to say Natalia.
Okay.
She's on
wherever
Raw.
she wants to be, all right?
Then, yeah, who's going to win? Who I think is going to win is Natalia. Who I want to win is Naomi now.
Who I would want to win,
Candice LeRae could possibly, but she has the speed belt. Blair Davenport could be a good one whenever she's not injured.
Who the hell's
I think.
Blair Davenport? Oh, the gothic girl or whatever,
yeah,
right?
half white, half black hair.
Okay,
I think
yeah.
she got injured and she's out. But there's not a lot of women on the SmackDown roster. I'm not gonna lie. Or at least here there isn't. It's Tiffany Stratton, Piper, Nia, Naomi, Michin, Jade, Elektra Lopez, Chelsea Green, Candice Blair, Bianca Bailey, and that's it. BFAB, if you want to
count
call her a
BFAB.
wrestler. Yeah.
Sorry,
I don't know.
I was gonna say who I want to win because you're mentioning right now. The SmackDown doesn't have a lot. I think it'd also be cool if an NXT superstar comes up. Someone established. Someone like, let's say, why are their names escaping me right now?
Ava,
Jesus, join the bloodline. The current women's championship champion. Sorry,
Jada Parker,
Roxanne Perez.
Yeah, Roxanne Perez. I think her time in NXT, she's been there for a while. I think she'd move up after losing the title. I wish. There's a lot of good women down there, but we'll see.
The ones that have been coming up, bro. Last Legend and thing.
I don't see it.
I don't know the other girl's name.
But yeah.
Oh, Jakara Jackson.
Yeah. Kalani Jordan.
Nikita Lyons.
Lola Vice.
Yeah, let's get it going.
Miko Sanatornoro.
The Chilean
Oh.
girl as well. Bring her up too. The new one they signed. Vakir. I think
Noam
his name.
Dar, bro. Bring him up.
Oh, yeah.
Sol Ruka. Bro, who are all these people on the NXT roster?
Pentagon Jr. and Rey Felix. What?
Anyways, so that is another piece of big news.
Mm-hmm.
Another, I guess we'll save that one for the end. So there's an update about Rhea Ripley's return. I don't know what it is because I didn't watch the video, but it says it here. On to AEW before we get to the big stuff. Where is it? Oh yeah, Malachi Black apparently is leaving AEW. I think we spoke about this.
Last
We
week.
had a match with Adam Cole and he hugged him in the ring. So we'll see where that takes him.
Mhm.
And yeah, apparently AEW is about to have a hard reset. So
Reset as in what? Like superstars, as in shows,
just as in general, I
storylines?
guess. I don't know. John Moxley seems like he's leading them into the new era. I haven't watched it, so I don't really know. Let me just double check this other website for some more news. The fuck? NXT is the Super Station TBS. Okay, sure. Oh my God, AEW champion Beach welcomes their second child, Kazuchika Okada.
Oh, okay. I was so confused. Good for him.
Oh. So it's officially announced that Gunther's facing Damian for the belt in Vancouver.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad.
Which is good. I'm happy that they're doing it at War Games and not on a random Raw, because that was what people were speculating was gonna happen.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, it brought back what I was going to talk about before, where I said that the tag team rematches, they don't exist anymore, but they kind of brought up again with Damian Priest, where I was like, I haven't got my rematch yet, but now I received it by earning it. So I was like, oh, so sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. But yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
Matt, keep going.
Yeah, and then we just have a couple more matches, but let's just get to the meat and potatoes, all right? We had this announced, I think, before SmackDown last week on a Thursday, right after me and Eric do our podcast, of course. Elimination Chamber is coming back home, boys, to the big T.O, even though we live in Hamilton, of course. We all went to the last Elimination Chamber in Canada, which was in Montreal. Great time. Shout out the lads. But that was a couple of years ago now. And now we have Elimination Chamber in Toronto. But what makes it so special is that it's at the Sky Dome for the first time in 1,000 years
Mm-hmm.
since Rock and Hogan graced the building.
It's 2002, I believe.
Yeah, and this is a big surprise for us because if you don't know, Vince McMahon had a stake or something in the smaller arena here in Toronto. So all the shows were basically going there no matter what, and there was basically an exclusivity to that. So that's why Money in the Bank was there, Survivor Series earlier, SummerSlam when we had it. It was always in the smaller arena.
Mhm.
But now,
Stadium.
this means that WrestleMania could show up in Toronto. Finally, boys. What do you think?
I will be there. We will be there. It's just we confirmed it. I think me and Derek talked about
$1,000?
it on one of the podcasts a couple weeks ago, where it's like if it is in fact happening in Toronto, which we thought was Scotiabank Arena, I told them I want to actually sit lower bowl this time. I want to be in the middle looking. I feel like we've earned it. I want to be nice and close.
At WrestleMania or at Elimination Chamber?
Elimination Chamber, because the way the shape of Scotiabank Arena is, I liked it down the middle, and like in the 100s would have been sick. I think we would spend the extra cash just to be a little bit closer. I think it'd be cool to experience
in the Rogers
cage.
Center, you mean?
No, originally before it was
Oh,
announced. We talked about it in a podcast a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Now that's it in the Sky Dome, and the fucking roof is open, and the CN Tower is just. They like come outside,
peeking,
and then
bro, peeking.
it's like, ladies and gentlemen, Travis Scott performing live, and we're like, oh my god. Derek, where do you want to sit?
Well, we'll see what ticket prices are saying. Like, I'd like to sit close. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the ticket prices
I
are
got
saying.
you right here. $1,500 per person. Lower level seating, pre-show all-inclusive hospitality with Sami Zayn and WWE superstars.
Well, that's like the big
Exclusive gift pack.
yeah,
Yeah.
that big thing. That's not general admission. That's like, oh my God, we'll massage your back while you meet Sami Zayn, and then you go to the front row and take a picture with the
sorry,
cage.
that wasn't even the most expensive
I know,
one, bro.
I
There's
know.
one without a price.
Oh, I seen the prices, bro. They're thousands of
You
dollars.
get the premium row 1 seating. This is like the Trinidad guy or green shirt.
Mhm.
Ringside photo op at the Elimination Chamber. Elite welcome event. TV production truck experience. Exclusive backstage experience. Post-show press conference access. Oh, we must go then, Eric.
No, of course.
All of us must go. For the WCWp.
No,
And don't forget the P.
Wrestle Chat Wednesday. we know copyright.
CM Punk, I hate you. Get him out of here. Hey, take me that son of a bitch.
Being a Toronto local and watching wrestling my entire life, how do you like the
they have
empanadas
floor
here?
tickets for $3,000. If you want a suite, that's $2,000 per person. What the fuck? Okay, so there's one that's decent. It's $450 per person. You get upper level seating, which sucks, but you get that pre-show hospitality. We get cookies with the lads in the back, and that's about it.
Yeet. I don't know. You'll catch me in the Corona section. Is all I gotta say.
Oh my god, I'm on the WestJet flight deck.
But yeah, it should be intriguing. Because Derek did not go to SummerSlam with us in Detroit. That was also a stadium event. We did
first one.
floor seating for the first time, and it was not fun.
No.
Not fun at all. I don't know if it's just the way that building was shaped. Because again, I went to watch the Leafs game in Buffalo, and for the most part, when I was sitting in 300s, I did not like the way the arena was shaped. But when I went with Matt to Scotiabank Arena, I liked the way the arena was shaped. So I think it varies from arena to arena.
Yeah,
Maybe it's the
from arena to
Canadian
arena.
arenas are better. I don't know. Toronto does it better than the States. I don't know. Don't quote me. It's what my eyes are telling me. But who knows? Because I've been to the Rogers Center before. I've seen Blue Jays games from the 100s, 300s. So, like, the views are pretty good for the most part.
I think anything over the 200s is going to be very, very bad.
Okay.
You're going to need to bring binoculars, especially for Elimination Chamber from what we've seen in Quebec, in Montreal.
Mhm.
It was kind of hard to see, and we were in the hundreds, so I don't know.
They just need to elevate
But-
the ring more.
This means WrestleMania is coming to Toronto, confirmed. So
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I don't even know where they're going to hang the WrestleMania sign.
in front of the Jumbotron, what do you mean?
Unless they close the dome. Yeah, I guess.
No, they have walkways. Well, I think it's going to be closed no matter what.
Okay. Because it's cold.
It's going to be March, no? It's March 1st or March
Probably.
30th?
Yeah, it's gonna be close for sure.
Yeah. It's going to be freezing. But big atmosphere. It's going to be sold out 100%,
Airbnb, of course.
obviously. It's Eric said we will be there. I might be there.
Oh
If the
my
wife lets me out
god.
the house,
He's
so.
like, oh my god, Money in the Bank's my last event, guys. I'm never gonna go out. I know the World Cup is coming in 2 years. I'm gonna try to smuggle my way through that. Or
Nah,
whatever.
my wife already said no, so we'll see.
And then afterwards, the chamber cage goes down. He's like, fuck, my love, I bought tickets.
That's what my work friends were joking because for Money in the Bank, one of them bought the briefcase and they're like, "Oh, so you're gonna buy the actual cage and bring it to work next time?" But we'll be at the pop-up shop at the rec center. Don't worry, we will be there so we can get in the Elimination Chamber. There's gonna be a pod there.
I hope so. Can't wait
But
till
yeah,
2026 is Croatia versus Colombia. Downtown Toronto. We will be there.
Even if we don't get WrestleMania, bring us the Rumble, bro. Bring us the
Bro,
Rumble.
that would be so
We need to check it off
sick.
the list.
Yeah, I
Bring
know.
the Rumble.
That has to be off the list for sure.
But yeah, that's why we were excited. Again, this opens up the whole thing. We even have a new music thing happening in Downsview, which is 50,000 people, so they could do an outdoor event there if they were crazy. But yeah, hopefully WrestleMania and the Rumble come here soon. They should fire Indianapolis because they don't bring fans like like Toronto. We bring the fans.
Bring her the fire.
Fantasy time?
I guess so. I'll play it. All
Derek.
right. It is the fantasy once again. We are in our 9th week.
Before you start, Derek, spin the wheel. I should have got you a wheel of L's for you live instead of the championship. What's going on here?
We are in the 9th week. I think as we were discussing before, we might do something different for the fantasy moving forward. I think we talked about this last week where we are nearing Survivor Series. When Survivor Series is done, the month of December is very busy. It's the holidays. We will probably be busy with events, either from work or like personal, like actual Christmas, New Year's, and then even wrestling. They take a huge break in between. So I think it'd be a good time to stop it. And then obviously we probably couldn't be streaming at the podcast at the same time because one, we'll be busy, and two, there'll be nothing going on wrestling. They're just gonna be showing recaps or filler until maybe just like not Survivor Series, Saturday night's main event
Year's.
on December.
Yeah.
And then New
And
Year's
then-
when January begins and it's the road to WrestleMania. Then we'll begin the podcast. We'll begin the fantasy all over again, right?
And we have to restructure because Netflix is coming, and if again, I think Derek said there's going to be commercials,
Mhm.
but if we pay for the premium, we won't have the commercials. So we'll have to figure out a new multiplier or something. Maybe if they show up a certain amount of times during the night, you get a multiplier. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we need to restructure, so that's why we might shake things up a bit.
So one more thing, but I forgot what it was. But whatever, he'll probably come back to us. So yeah, in the meantime, we're still gonna be calculating points. This is week 9. So far, Matt has won the lead. He's Mr. Consistent, not even a single zero. He has a total of 15 points. Me, the reigning and defending 2-time champion of fantasy, of course. Did good some weeks, did horrific the other, but when I did good, I did great. So I'm close behind with 13 points. Derek, Mr. Inconsistent, has gotten a bunch of donuts, and at least he won 1 week, but he's on a little bit of a losing streak right now, has 5 points. As we said in the rules before, winner gets 3 points, second place gets 1 point, loser gets nothing except for the spin of the wheel, unless it is a pay-per-view week, which is not. So, November 6th to 13th, Derek, what happened with your raw booty?
They were booty. I don't even want to go through it, bro. Like nobody did anything.
Well, one, he appeared at the end, so that's 8.
Did he appear at the end?
He appeared after Damien won his match. They did a little
okay.
confrontation.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Kevin Owens hit a pile driver. Bronson Reed had a promo, and he had a little appearance at the beginning.
Okay.
Candice LeRae had a match, but she lost. But she had a little appearance afterwards. Carmelo wasn't there. The War Raiders weren't there. And Sami Zayn, my wild card, who actually did do some stuff, you know. I'm not gonna hate on it. He did some stuff. Yeah, in total I got 38 points.
Yeah, you're right.
35.
No, you got
38.
You got
We
38.
got an extra 3. I got an extra 3.
So yeah, this is empty here because Sami Zayn was your main event, but he's in the wild card bonus for the week. You still haven't picked up anybody in the unknown spot. Sheamus is actually wrestling next week. Do something, bud. Tiffy Time did wrestle too. She appeared multiple times. Maybe it would have been better than Carmelo because, as I told you from the beginning, he's Dookie. Braun Breaker. You slept on Braun Breaker, though. I think he only appeared once. New
He
Day.
only appeared once.
New Day also appeared many times.
A couple of appearances. Kofi lost.
Dropped the War
you know.
Raiders. 38 points. Next.
No.
You think they're gonna come back with vengeance or what?
Well, yeah, they're wrestling next week, and then know they're gonna be raiding.
Raid. All right, so I had Damian Priest and Seth Rollins as my main eventers.
Damian Priest got more points than my entire team.
Yes. That's why I chose Damian Priest because he's now in the main event spot again with the world title. Thought he was gonna be pushed. Cody Rhodes is the opposite, only 3 points. Bum. Though Randy Orton wouldn't have done any better. Dirty Dom had a little scrap. He appeared at the beginning, then had a little scrap with Finn. 8 points. It was all right. Io Sky, they're pushing her to the moon. 51 points. Absolutely disgusting. Again, they had the Bloodline story, both Raw and SmackDown. So Jimmy finally doing something good, earned me 23 points. The Tongans, they're there because they're in the background. They're like, and those earned me points for a total of 156 points. I still haven't picked up anybody for CM Punk, but I am still dropping CM Punk. Still in the process. He's on the waivers. He's just trash, and I can't find anyone better, so he's just empty for now. Yeah, that's it.
That's my turn. Finn Balor, still doing nothing. He's got to heat up soon, right?
He appeared at the beginning.
All he does is talk. Yeah, that was it. Oh, did he appear before?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're welcome.
I that was the one part I forgot I had to look up because I started it later. Thank you. Roman Reigns in there cooking, back at final form, Roman Reigns style. Lot of talking, lot of spears, lot of punches. Raquel Rodriguez, big back, big drop, big chingonga mom. None of those happened. She almost did the big back drop. I think she might have hit it. I can't remember. Nia Jax, she was there. She didn't do much. She didn't hit the bum drop on anyone. No leg drops, only Samoan drops. And then Solo and Jacob, kind of a light week. We spaced it out to make it look like it was big, but they just did some talking, not a lot of fighting. They'll get back to it. For a total of 119 points. Eric, congratulations.
Oh my God. You're right.
And I need to pick up a woman, so I will be picking up Chelsea Green.
Oh, that's
Thank
solid. Now the mid-card spot's there. So they'll be here, right?
Yes, sir.
Chelsea Green.
Yeah, but I'm kind of screwed on Raw. I don't have any main eventers that I
Yeah,
can
because
replace
Drew's
with
hurt
Finn.
or whatever he's doing.
So I'm just stuck. The Rock, again, he's not really going to get a lot of points, but I might as well have him. There's no one else. AJ Styles is injured. CM Punk is trash. And everyone else is taken. So, yeah, I got to wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go to the top. We'll calculate points one more time. Matt gets +1. Mr. Consistent's still in there, so he has a total of 16 points. I earn another win for 3 points to tie Matthew's grip, because I think you've been leading since the second week, because I got the first one, yeah. So yeah, you got in there since
Derek, please, bro.
And Derek with another donut.
I need your help to take down Eric, and it's not working. Make me a trade. Give me Sammy, please.
Which means it's everyone's favorite time of the week. Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel.
Before we spin the wheel, I need y'all to go on Instagram real quick and look what I posted.
I don't have my phone on me.
Is it you spinning the wheel?
No, it's just please look at it. It's so funny.
It's the wheel of Derek. I forgot I had to copy this.
Most overrated wrestlers according to Twitter.
Yeah, but
wait, what am I supposed to be looking at? The last slide?
The last slide.
World Slide?
What the hell?
Someone calculate 7 days from the 13th. 14, 15,
Bro,
16,
who's-
17, 18, 19,
Who's
20.
making these lists?
November 20. Remove that. Remove that. Can't believe I've never done this before. Could just erase all the points.
Or the second last slide. The one that has Raquel Rodriguez on it, because the picture they use for that is flipping hilarious.
Bro, how dare you make fun of big back to Raquel?
Oh my god, I'm dying, bro. Oh my god.
Who is your most overrated wrestlers, guys?
Overrated? Like an opinion wise?
time.
Or
Anywhere, yeah.
well, of all time. Like not on our teams, you mean? Just like who you think is the most overrated?
Yeah, that was just what the comment was if the stream can't see the Instagram.
Oh, okay, Danny Bryan.
CM Punk.
That's crazy.
Those are pretty good, solid choices. I won't lie. You can't lie. Those are two solid choices.
Okay, again, no, I have to. Sorry, I'm gonna switch mine because I haven't seen all of CM Punk's work, but right now it's CM Punk. Most overrated.
No, I would. Most overrated.
Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Spin the wheel.
Overrated. It might be Daniel Bryan, to be honest.
It's Daniel Bryan, bro. That guy's.
I don't know. I might have to come back to this.
Like his gimmick is being an underdog. Okay, so is everyone else's. At least Rey Mysterio wears a mask and he's slightly fit.
Yeah, I've never been a Daniel Bryan fan. Never will. Overrated.
Who else is overrated? Ricochet?
No, buddy, that guy wasn't even rated at all.
I don't think we rated him still. They rated his slips, but you know.
Overrated, bro. I'm trying to think of like the mid 2000s, but everyone was just sick.
I know.
Fuck.
Is it wrong if I say Ric Flair?
No.
I've been saying this. I think Ric Flair is heavily overrated, bro.
Like really.
I
Like
think he's really
17
overrated.
times overrated.
Yeah.
I think he was good, but I don't think he has like. If you're telling me that like John Cena has a chance to break his record, I think John Cena deserves it more than Ric Flair did.
Mhm.
Ric Flair said that he would rather Randy Orton beat his record. Oh yeah, you said
Which
that
I think
too.
it's fair. I think it's fair. I think
Yeah.
it's fair, honestly. Randy has been putting in the work. Randy is like,
He's raised them.
but like John Cena, like it's to be able to deal with all the hate that he dealt with in his career and still be able to have the loudest reaction in the arena it speaks a lot to who he is.
Mm-hmm. And being a face the whole time.
Yeah.
And still making something out of it, not
Yeah.
just turning into bum city
Mhm.
like Roman Reigns. I declare the Royal Rumble match.
It's the face, bro. That face at the end.
Yeah, it's Daniel Bryan, bro.
It's Daniel
Thanks,
Bryan.
Eric.
All
I
right.
can't think of anyone else right now other than like
I'll shuffle it 3 more times.
fucking Hulk Hogan.
No, but you're just
I mean-
you earn a lot of money.
Lex Luger, bro. I don't know.
Oh, Lex Luger was super overrated too. Yeah.
Sting? Maybe?
No.
No.
I'm just
Sting's-
not familiar with the game, bro. I
Nah,
mean, he has that
Sting's
one
overrated.
mask part, so that's all I need.
No,
Sting is
Daniel
overrated,
Bryan.
bro.
Daniel Bryan's got a lock for me.
Okay, it's locked in. Daniel Bryan. Everyone's gonna be like, no, the wrist control, the wrist control.
Yeah,
Do you
people-
not
people-
see the wrestling?
People are gonna come for me for saying Ric Flair too, but you know, I just don't think Ric Flair was as good as everybody made about this team.
You
That's
guys
all.
can have your opinions, and we'll have ours.
Yeah.
We
I've
agree
been,
all
I've been
around
watching. I've been watching wrestling for a long time. Every time whenever I watched Ric Flair wrestle as a kid, he always reminded me of
The cartoon.
shit. He reminded me of that actor. What's his name? He was in Naked. You know that comedian actor? He's
Oh
like.
yeah.
Mr.
He's
Bean?
on
Yeah, Naked Gun?
airplane or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on, I got you. Hold on. Characters? No.
Hold on. Let me type in Naked Gun.
Oh, that's the new one. Sorry, it's not showing. Oh, Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen. Literally, he was the Leslie Nielsen wrestling for me. Because every time I watch this guy at work, he was just getting beat up, and in a comedic fashion. And it's like he could do both. And I know in his heyday when I wasn't watching, he was more the serious type. But every time I watched him, he was always getting his ass kicked.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Oh, we should do a segment, and then we'll hold up wrestlers and be like
Overrated.
overrated, underrated, or decently rated.
I think that's pretty cool.
I'd be down
Really
for that.
good game.
Let's
Yeah.
do it right now.
Oh my god. Well, I need to eat lunch, and I think Derek said I need to leave at 4 o'clock. It's practically 4
Oh, is
o'clock.
that what you said?
So,
Yeah, I'm just waiting on a text message.
all right. You also
Crazy.
need to wait to spin the wheel. Spin the
Oh
wheel.
yeah,
Spin the wheel.
spin,
Tell me
spin,
when to
spin,
spin it.
spin.
Spin the
What do you
wheel,
get?
god
What do you
damn
get?
it.
What do you get?
Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel. Spin the
Please
wheel.
not anything bad.
Oh, it's in the middle. Oh, you get a +1 on your weekly tally. So that means
Oh.
for finally, you didn't earn 0.
You can get over 40 points.
You got a point.
Oh, that's what you mean.
You got a point.
Yeah.
You have 6
Yeah.
points now.
Yes.
So we're gonna highlight that
Yeah.
one green or something. That way people will know. That one was a wild card. Derek, you did
Hey.
it.
The wild cards are working.
Spin the wheel. That's sick. You finally got it, dude. That's crazy. Okay.
Oh, we should have did if you lose 3 weeks in a row, you get to spin the wheel 3 times. I mean,
Oh,
like
yeah, yeah.
three on top.
that
I
would've
guess you
helped.
spin it 3 times no matter what. But
Let me spin it one more time.
yeah, do it, Eric. Screw it.
You want
I'm
to do
feeling
overtime?
generous.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just
bro.
gonna
I
remove
like
the
spinning the wheel.
Wild
Let it
card
stack.
column. How do you delete row?
Spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel. I just closed the wheel. Okay. All right. We're gonna give Derek an extra wheel. Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel.
We're all about fair play here, okay?
Spin the wheel. Shuffle,
Do the
shuffle,
roar.
shuffle. Spin it. Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel. I just want to get no wild card. That would have been horrific.
Oh my god. Oh my
You get to
god.
boost your
Take
multiplier.
the point away.
Excellent.
You get the boost multiplier this week. So you get to
Lovely.
select one. I mean, that's later. You get to select one of your group and then up their multiplier. So Derek, you might have a chance, bro. You might have a chance.
I will take it.
And that is fantasy. We're near the finish line for that, and we're neck and neck, Matt.
It's a barn burner, as they say.
I know. Matt hasn't had the chance to spin a wheel, eh? Positives and
God.
negatives, you know.
The only time I've no.
No,
Did
he-
That's
I
right. Your
lose?
spinner ones. I feel no. He didn't lose any. He didn't
no,
lose any.
no, he
weeks.
didn't lose any
Okay.
weeks. He never got a zero. So
I think the
Yeah.
closest I got was it would have been a pay-per-view week, or it was the pay-per-view week. I can't remember.
no, you still have
Anyways.
plus ones and plus threes, no zeros. So yeah.
Screw the wheel. I want this.
Oh yeah,
I want the
wanna see-
inaugural one with the trophy. I want the inaugural one with the trophy, baby.
Won the week. Let's go. I'm in there. I'm tied for first.
Oh my god. This just in.
Mhm.
2 weeks ago.
Okay.
WrestleMania, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Full match on YouTube.
Oh my god. Gotta promote their story. I think they also had the other WrestleMania too. But anyways, I'm gonna go eat lunch. So I'm done.
Sounds like a plan.
It's been your boy Eric of UFC.
I love you, Solo. It's Matt from UFC,
And this
owner
is
of
Derek.
Matt's Meaty Men.
Derek, the loser, the donut,
Why is
The
just mine
man.
flipped and yours isn't?
the
Bullshit.
man who doesn't even deserve to hold up his trophy, but we'll hold it up anyways. We'll
Don't
hold it up
say
real
that.
quick. We'll hold it up.
We're
real
all
quick.
winners here because we
Hold it.
listen to the WCWp podcast.
Yeah, we'll hold it up real quick. Right up to the camera. Right up to the camera.
Cheers, boys.
Ding,
On
ding,
another
ding.
podcast. We'll see you next week.
Later, guys. I can't turn it off. What's going on?
Those are some nice.